attention, and we got people to notice that something's not right here. When they see our faces, they realize, hey, this is really happening. These kids are really getting affected in a negative way.
Students and others say it was past time to take their future into their own hands. This was only part of the proceedings at tonight's BISD board meeting. Good evening, I'm Greg Kerr. Kelly has the night off. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Tonight, no Beaumont School District teachers are losing their jobs, at least not yet. That's because the board failed to approve a reduction in force, a move that would have cut more than 100 jobs, including those of many teachers, in order to save millions of dollars. Another headline tonight, the superintendent has changed his mind about resigning. KFDM's Justin Hinton is back from what many described as a rowdy meeting. Justin, some pre-July 4th fireworks tonight?
Greg, rowdy doesn't even begin to describe what took place at tonight's meeting, from arguing trustees to shouting community members during the meeting to police officers escorting community activist Ricky Jason out the door. It was an eventful meeting. Now, what everyone was waiting for was that reduction in force vote. Ultimately, it failed. Trustee Woodrow Reece voted to approve the names on the list. Mike Neal voted against it. Gwen Ambres, Zenobia Bush, Janice Brassard, and Terry Williams all abstained. Now, Tom Neal was out of town and didn't attend the meeting.
I don't like the way that the RIF list was put together, and I think we can minimize the number of RIFs if we would continue to try to cut some expenses on the budget. So that's why I voted against it.
In my heart and in my business sense, it was the right thing to do, is vote for it so that we can move forward. This couple board members said that we could amend and we can delete, and that was very good, and that was part of what we discussed before.
After the reduction in force vote failed, Trustee Woodrow Reece asked the conservator Fred Shafer to override the vote and force a RIF. Well, Shafer said no, and Reece admitted the answer he received wasn't the one he was expecting.
They got the district in this position. The agency didn't, the conservator didn't. And, you know, they weren't bold enough to stand up and make that decision.
So the big question is, what's next? Now, the record review of the state takeover is still on for Thursday, July 10th in Austin. As far as teacher jobs, a consultant the district hired to handle the RIF says she's moving forward with trying to get some of those teachers hired. She says there are a number of vacancies that they'd like to have filled with employees who are on the RIF list. Now, one other headline tonight, the district released a statement to employees that Dr. Timothy Shagwa had changed his mind about resigning as superintendent. He'd planned to leave by the end of October and asked for a voluntary separation agreement amounting to about $250,000. We tried to ask Dr. Shagwa why he changed his mind, but he refused to answer our questions and walked away when the meeting ended. Greg?